Let's get into it. We got Joe Rogan, Whitney Cummings, and they're talking about Trump in a good light, and they're calling out Obama. Now, I could have made this into 2 episodes, but I figured that if you like Trump, you probably don't like Obama. And to that I say, good call. Good call. Now, they're talking about Trump, and how he's always unstoppable is what one of them say, always willing to tell the truth. And then they talk about Obama and what he had to say and do during the Flint, Michigan crisis that took place. A little bit of an update on that I'm going to show you. Also, a little bit of a Trump video that I'm going to show you. We got a whole bunch of things that we're going to play in this one. But let's get to the important part first. That's not it. It's this right here. Let's go.
And he's talking about it's a 20-year plan. And he's talking about this in the 1980s.
Whoa.
And that's already been implemented. It is too far gone. You will not stop this process. This process, this demoralization of your country will be complete. And it starts with teaching Marxist-Leninist ideas in colleges. And
Whoa.
yeah, it's wild. It's wild because if this guy was just guessing in 1984, and it's not really like a long-term Soviet strategy to destroy America, that has been like super-duper successful.
I mean, feels like there's, I don't know, RFK Jr., but I'm not weighing in on the science part of it. I just feel like if we had someone being like, we're coming for you. I mean, his voice alone, it's like, I think everyone would be like, damn, they're not fucking around in America.
Well, I think other countries' biggest fear would be Trump getting back in power.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's the one guy that is, even though he's a business insider, he's a billionaire and all that good stuff, but he's not a political insider, and he does not work well with those people, and he wants to do things his way. And I just think he's a much more formidable adversary for these countries. He doesn't fuck around with them, but he also will make deals with them too. Like it's kind of crazy how no one gave him credit for saying literally the most logical thing when he was talking to CNN's Caitlin, whatever her name is. I forget the woman's name. Sorry. But he was talking to her, and she said, "Do you want Ukraine to win this war?" He goes, "I want people to stop dying."
No one else will say that.
Well, that seems like the most logical thing to say. Like,
because that's a really important
Excuse me, let me
statement that you
just
just
follow
made
up.
there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying. And I'll have that done. I'll have that done in 24 hours. I'll have it done. You need the power of the presidency to do it.
But you won't say that you want Ukraine to win.
You know what I'll say? I'll say this. I want Europe to put up more money because they're in for 20 billion. We're in for 170, and they should be. And they should equalize. They have plenty of money. They should equalize. I got with NATO, when I sat down, I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars that they weren't paying under Obama and Bush.
Let's stop. Figure out how to get people to stop dying. Of course, it's a horrible war. You got people that were literally a part of the same union, and now they're blowing each other up.
I think we're getting to a point where people just want to see someone be fearless. It's like the same person who's like, Rosie O'Donnell's fat. Yeah, is she not? Is she not? Like, I mean, it's funny, but it's also like it just boils down to, yeah, this guy will say the truth.
What happened with, like, did Rosie talk shit about him or something like that? Is that what started
I don't
that
really
feud?
know. I think, look, we forget that he was the biggest TV star before he was the president. I mean, The Apprentice was massive, so I think he maybe knew her from that, and he called her fat. I mean, remember when But people just, it boils down to like, yeah,
he's fat too.
Yeah, exactly. Rosie, are you not? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, so he's just saying the truth. And I think that it's like people are trying so hard just to get reelected instead of just tell the truth and serve their country. And it's so obvious and transparent. And it's like it's like when that woman, E. Jean Carroll, came forward against him for like sexual harassment. And he was like, look at her. You think I'd harass her? I mean, just like, the guy's unstoppable.
That lady's a nutty lady. You ever seen that lady get interviewed?
No.
Yeah, they try to keep her away from the cameras.
Oh, boy. She's like an advice columnist or something? I don't even know
She's
who
a
she
journalist. But she's eccentric.
We're at the point where, like, yeah, we're at war, you guys. We need someone who's just going to, like, say the truth.
Well, also, like, what are our options? You know, what are the options?
Yeah.
The whole thing is just so scrambled.
It's a scary time.
It's weird because it shows you the thing that you've already known but you didn't want to admit. That the system is not run logically and it's not run by someone who's like some evolved, experienced person who's, you know, got a real grip on how to run this system. Like, there's no one like that. They don't exist. So you just have these special interest groups that are forcing things to get done that shouldn't get done, and money getting jocked. You see that Zelensky the other day just asked for credit? He was like, if you won't give us any more money, please give us credit.
Like, credit.
Credit, so they can buy more weapons and shit. If you aren't going to give us money, give us credit and we'll pay you back.
It just seems kind of wild that we're sending all this money all over the world. Not that they don't need help, but it's like, what about people in America? What about
Not just
Hawaii?
that.
What about Hawaii? We just forgot about Hawaii, or
Yeah, they accidentally spent an extra $6 billion on Ukraine. They sent an accidental $6 billion, which would be more than enough to replace every single home that burned in Maui. And there was no consideration for doing that at all.
and we don't have clean water in Appalachia or Flint. Have we
No,
solved
Flint's
that
fucked.
yet? Okay.
Flint's fucked.
Okay, all right.
And then everywhere else that has water has fluoride in it. Explain that.
Which that wasn't. Didn't the Surgeon General do that in the 50s? Like, wasn't that something that was done by the Surgeon
I
General?
would check his fucking stock market portfolio.
And was the idea of that to help with dental stuff?
Gary Brecka was talking about it on the podcast.
I love
yesterday.
that guy.
Yeah, he's great. He said there's some evidence that it's a thin layer of protection that it can give you, but also brush your fucking teeth.
But also wouldn't.
Flint water criminal prosecutions end with no charges. Frustrated residents. Wow. No charges.
This is just updated recently. This just happened.
Well, it could have just been negligence and lack of. I don't know what. I have no knowledge about the Flint thing other than when Obama pretended to drink water from there. Can I get a glass of water? I'm serious. I'm thirsty. Can I get a glass of water? This is not a prank. And he just takes goes like this. You never seen it?
No.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Oh,
it's amazing.
no.
It's amazing. He gets a glass of.
We invest. Can I get some water? Come on up here. Give me some water. I want a glass of water. I want a glass of water. Sit down. Where do we go from here? Well, I'm still waiting for my water. Somebody obviously didn't hear me. Hold on a second. Now, the reason I know I'm okay is because I already had some Flint water. There we go. Thank you. I really did need a glass of water. This is not a stunt. Now, I'm going to talk about this. Everybody settle down. This is a feisty crowd.
Flint tap water, and I swear to God, he drinks it like this.
Is he trying to act like it's the problem is solved?
Bullshitting the world. Like, to think that you could bullshit the world over whether or not you drink water, have a sip of
Also,
water.
have that sip just for the.
Come on, these people are drinking it. Get a little. Watch this.
Need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
Look at this.
Stop. Stop.
I'm going to talk about this. Everybody settle down.
Go from the beginning. Do it from the beginning.
It's 2 minutes. He's asking for someone to bring him the water and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Can I get some water? Come on up here. Give me some water.
He's just waiting for water. Just trying to save time.
They're straining the.
But why
coal
would
out
they
of
be
it in the
cheering
back.
when they're
I want a
literally?
glass of water.
I want a glass of water. He's literally drinking poison water. Like, they're drinking poison water, and everyone's cheering that he's asking for poison water.
Because they're excited he's about to fall over and die.
No, they're thinking, he's showing us that he's going to fix it.
I mean,
Well, I'm still waiting for my water.
Meanwhile, that's Fiji. They poured the fuck.
right now they just ran to the grocery store in this amount of time.
Now, the reason I know I'm okay is because I already had some Flint water. There we go.
What?
Here we go. Like he's doing a shot of Red Bull.
This is spooky.
I really did need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
Usually when something isn't a stunt, you have to say
It's
that.
100% a stunt. When was the last time a president stopped a speech to ask, "Can I get a glass of water?" What? They would never do that. They would have water ready for him. If you do stand-up, how often have you said, "Can I get a glass of water?"
Not
no, you
often.
bring a fucking water on stage with you.
And then what happened? It still hasn't been handled.
See, this is
Gross.
a drink. Like,
Gross.
I mean, did it even get in his mouth?
I mean, it's Appalachia water still from Purdue poisoning the water. Like a lot of people that I went to high school with and stuff. They thyroid cancer at 40.
Really?
Yeah, from the DuPont. I mean, so many chemicals have been thrown into Appalachia, but West Virginia water, DuPont put in all that. Remember, there's that Dark Water. There's a movie with Mark Ruffalo. Great movie.
He did it again. Here's another one. Watch how he did it this time. Watch he gets up to his mouth.
Generally I have not been doing stunts here, but
Oh, really?
and This used a filter. The water around this table was Flint water that was filtered.
But he didn't drink it.
He did instantly start stuttering after he had a tiny bit of it. So
I start blinking.
Instant neurological damage.
So what?
Man, wow. I can't believe that's happened. I can't believe they just ended the case. Those people are still messed up over there. And it's one of those things where it's like, they're fine. And then 20 years from now, it's going to be like, oh, it was always bad. And we all have stomach cancer in this part of town. And it's going to be terrible. It's going to be absolutely terrible. I can't believe it. Man, I'm telling you, I used to be a different person. When Obama got elected, I was like, black people. Yeah, let's go. But the more you look into him and his presidency, and I know a lot of you knew from the very beginning, but the more you look into it, it's just like, man, this guy, he didn't change things. Forget about black people. He didn't change things for anybody. And arguably made things worse for people, And then on the other side, and that's exactly why I made this clip, because on the other side of things, they're talking about Trump. And what's Trump talking about? Solving war, making sure people stop dying. And what's Obama doing? He's literally acting like he's drinking water. Acting. Like, look. That didn't even touch my lips. But I could say it did. Just straight up not drinking the water. And the thing is with that clip that I played for you, where he's like, where's my water? I really needed a glass of water. And then he goes like this. Bro, if I said I needed a glass of water right now, what do you think I would do with that water? Do you think I would take a sip, or do you think I'd be like, well, this is a small glass. Let me bang this back real quick. I drink the whole thing, which is even scarier because he's not willing to do that. And then he's willing to leave that place and know that those people do have to do that. They do have to drink it and bathe in it and wash their food in it. Absolutely crazy. It's nuts, man. Just nuts. But yeah, they touched on a lot of things in this clip. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. Now, what is there to think about? Well, what there is to think about to me is Trump versus Obama. And that's never going to happen again. Arguably, it's happening right now as he goes for his fourth term. But, when we take our tinfoil hats off, that's not happening. But in terms of presidencies, because we do have past presidencies to compare, what about Trump to Obama's presidency? Which one do you think was better? I say right off, if you asked me as Trump was in office, his first year and a half, I would say Obama was so much better. Can't believe Trump's undoing all these things he did, Obamacare, blah, blah, blah. And then by the time Trump was done, I was like, okay, that was pretty good. And then when he was gone for a year, I was like, oh my God, jeez. I said this before. I was saying it on X. If you don't follow me on X, follow me. We're talking a lot over there. But I was saying everything that they said Trump would do, Obama did before, or Biden ended up doing. Everything from war to locking up political opponents, everything. Absolutely crazy. But the beautiful thing about this is a very recent podcast. This is actually Joe Rogan's most recent podcast. And you hear him talking highly about Trump. I love that. I love it because the more I hear him talk highly about Trump, the more I'm like, he's going to interview him. And I really do think he's going to. I don't know when. I don't know if it'll be after 2024, because once Trump wins, it's going to be hard to get the president of the United States on your podcast. Hopefully it's before. Joe is down on video saying, I don't want to help him, but why not? In the words of Patrick Bet-David, when you don't help Trump, you are indirectly helping Biden. And that's very true. And I don't want to seem so tribed up in regards to it. I expose my biases. I like Trump. I do not like Biden, but I think he's kind of right. So let me know what you think in the comments of this whole clip that just played. Obama pulling those publicity stunts, what Trump had to say and what they had to say about Trump. And then also the fact that the Flint, Michigan crisis is done. Like, they're closing the case. Spent $60 million. There's no convictions. No one's going to be held. Do you know how wild it is that no one's going to be held accountable, but there's millions of people who have to deal with that situation? And even Joe Rogan, when he mentioned like, oh, it could be negligence, it's like, still, who was negligent? Was it a group of people? Are they still in power? Are some of them still in that local government? If so, then they gotta leave. Think about that, man. That's wild. There are people, and you know it, you're probably I'm one of them. There are people who can't afford filters like that. Berkey filters and high filtration systems inside their house. They can't afford anything like that. They're depending on the people in power to at least provide them water that's not going to do anything negative to them. Anyways, guys, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'm out.